What's going on, guys? It's Cats here, and welcome to a little live stream here. Today we are going to be doing a 100% race in F1 2017. We're going to be doing it in the Renault, this car. We're also going to be doing qualifying. We're going to be Nico Hulkenberg, mainly because his helmet is better. And we're gonna do it here in Italy. I'm pretty sure the settings are reset. Nope. Short qualifying and 100%. Let's just grab. Let the weather be clear. We don't want any rain. So we should just get right into it. So it takes a bit of time loading. You don't really see this in my career mode videos, because I cut it out, because who wants to watch this? Sometimes it takes quite a while, sometimes it's very quick. You know, it's different from time to time.
Qualifying is about to start here at the Autodromo di Monza for the Italian.
So let's do some qualifying now. Gotta have a nice setup. We're gonna do 4-5 wings, and I don't really have anything to do in here, so let's just get out, and hopefully this setup is good, because now that we've gone out, we can't change it. So if our setup isn't what it's supposed to be, yeah, we're pretty fucked, because the setup we use now is a setup that we're going to be using for the rest of qualifying and for the race, because we're not allowed to change it. I'm allowed to change the front wing downforce, so how much downforce there's going to be at the front wing, I can change that, but the rest I can't change. But here we are, setting a time. We need to be very concentrated here. We're going max fuel mixture, so we're going as fast as possible. And also the thing with doing a live stream is that you don't get to see everything. Oh, cut the corner there. Well, in live streams you get to see everything, but in my career mode episodes you don't. And I just touched the grass quite a bit there, so that could ruin our time. But just to clarify, what you're seeing on your screen, like with all the like the edge and all the things out on the side, my profile picture on PlayStation, I'm seeing that as well. So I actually have quite a small screen to look at. Okay, I think we need some more front wing downforce. This is not good enough. We can't roll with this. Let's just set the time and see. Okay, see, we can't really turn the corners as we should, and now we're very slow. 2 seconds off. See, that's too slow. So let's go return to the garage. So setup. We can also just change tires now. There we go. 5. Change over to a new compound. Let me see how much time is left. It's 5 minutes left. See other times. Wow. Okay, we're 12. What's it called? I don't know. We're only faster than one person who has set a time, and that's Marcus Ericsson, and he's like the slowest person in the world. Let's see here, Sebastian Vettel. What can he do? He is in sector 2 right now. Sector 2 is a 28.8. It's way faster than us. But I think we'll go out when it's about 3 minutes left. That seems like a good time to go out. 3 minutes or 2.5, because it's always nice, because when you're out doing a lap, then if the qualifying ends while you do a lap, you get to keep on going. Oh, and he went into the pits. Nice! Screw, let's just go out now. I've done 5.5 wings on this track many times before, so I think 5.5 wings is gonna be good enough. Okay, 2.5 minutes left. That took a long time to get out here, apparently. Yeah, see, this is much better. Okay, maybe not. Maybe we just need to let go of the throttle a bit there. We really messed up with that setup. We might just need to fight very hard in the race. That was just shit. Oh, what am I doing? Why did I wait? This lap is not gonna be good either. We were a little bit faster in sector 2 than we were last lap. But also sector 2 was the lap where we messed up the most. Oh, yellow flags. Okay, we can just do one more lap after this and then qualifying will end. As you can see, less than a minute left up there in the corner. And with less than a minute left, that means that we can't do the lap fully out before the qualifying ends. So that means that at the end of this lap, it's over. But P14, which where we are right now, is kind of realistic for Renault, and we're also on just about the same difficulty as I'm using in my career mode, and that's just annoying. So now the lap that put me in 14th is gonna be my lap that counts. Yeah, we do not have enough downforce in this car. I'm not gonna put on the DRS. I might be ruining Fernando Alonso's lap here. Oh fuck! No way. Fernando, if you were doing a lap, sorry, but if you weren't, why the fuck would you do that? I just love when he says when he says that sentence. Like the way he says it, it sounds so snobby or something. You know, it's just like, hello, can you hear me? This is Jeff. There's a fair bit amount of front wing damage. Yeah. 15th. It's not bad. We can work with that.
As we wind down from the excitement of qualifying, here's a look at your top three: Hamilton, Bottas, and Kimi Räikkönen. Goodbye for now, then. But we're really just.
I'm disappointed, but we can work with that.
Sunday afternoon here at Monza, and you're in for a treat in this classic Formula One track. Welcome to... Well then, after an exciting qualifying session yesterday, let's take...
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
Every time he says that, that just reminds me of that song the Chainsmokers made. Oh, did you see that? The time? We're seriously gonna do a one-stop strategy. A one-stop strategy in a 53-lap race. Man. Well, I guess we should just get into it. And it's lights out, and away we go. Let's get it up into Ridge immediately, and watch out for Roman Grosjean and Lance Stroll coming up our inside here. Going into turn 1, we do not want to hit anyone, which we did. And it's race over. Well, it actually isn't. It isn't. We actually P11. That's nicely done, and I could use the fact that I was the one who crashed. Well, I was one of the ones who crashed. I can use that as an excuse to get up into P11. That's nice. Don't really need it in standard now. That sun is annoying. Why did I cut the corner there? That's a stupid idea. That you might think that cutting the corner is a good idea and makes you quicker. It doesn't. What you hit when you cut the corner, like the curbings or grass or gravel, it just slows you down. Like the fastest laps are without corner cuts. Just to bear in mind. Hey, Roman Grosjean is the one up in front. He had quite a nice start. It was a bit annoying we started on the left side of the track, because if we had started on the right side, we would have easily gone over to the right side and could have made a dive bomb, which we couldn't do. The reason me and Stroll hit each other was because of me braking later than the others, and there were 2 cars in front of me and one to my side, so just Stroll was the one to my side, so because I was dive bombing or braking late, I got a little speed boost compared to the others into the corner. So what I thought was, okay, now if I'm quick I can just turn right and then cut off Lance Stroll without hitting him, but he was too close. He was closer than I thought. So cutting the corner in that way, that isn't really that much time consuming. It's just the fact that the curbing there, that little orange bit, is very tall in that corner. You don't want that. But next up is Daniel Ricciardo. Okay. That's a bit of a surprise for me, actually. A Red Bull. Red Bull and P9. That means that some of the midfield cars, the not top teams, must be in front of Daniel Ricciardo. Is that Julian Palmer, my teammate up there? That looks like my teammate. Oh yay. DRS has been enabled. Yippee. Can I get Daniel Ricciardo, it looks like? Yes, we can now. Next up is our teammate we need to overtake. That was a dive bomb if I've ever seen one. I'm actually quite impressed and surprised that it actually worked. He was so far in front of me, I thought I was just gonna smack right into the side of him. Or just have to brake and let him go. Come on, Julian. Stop fighting me. We good. I'm better than you. So, well, that's actually true if you take the real life drivers. Julian Palmer is much, much worse than Nico Hulkenberg. But Julian Palmer does not exist in the 2018 season, which is gonna start tomorrow. If we only count races, it's gonna start tomorrow. It started yesterday. If we count practice and qualifying, it was actually qualifying this morning. It was morning for me because I live in Denmark. It's all in Australia, so I had to get up at 6:30 in the morning on the Saturday, and tomorrow I gotta get up at the same time to watch the race. I don't want to miss any races, but unfortunately, because of vacation and stuff, I'm gonna miss 3 races most likely, unless the place where me and my mum and dad are going on vacation, if that place has a TV where they show Formula 1, I'm not gonna miss them. But if not, which is most likely, I'm gonna miss 3 races, and one of them is a race that isn't in this game, and that is a French race. But next year, the Malaysian Grand Prix, the race in Malaysia, which is also in here, which you're gonna see that in career mode. But yeah, that race is what's it called? It's gone. Oh, shut up, Jeff. I'm the one driving. I'm the one to decide what fuel mixture I'm gonna use. But that downforce loss we have, though. We don't even have front wing damage. Like, imagine us having front wing damage right now. Oh, I almost smashed into Ricardo there. Let's go into standard so we can just wait a little bit. I like on the big screens you can see what you're seeing on your screen. Like on those big screens I can see my camera angle if I did like that and look to the side. Or you just saw that when I looked behind at the screen, you could just, like, this is what you saw. Let's see, this is the corner that catches me off guard. When it, no, that's the corner before that corner that we just did perfectly. Yay, lap 5 already. It's actually going pretty fast right now. But if this is like watching a real Formula 1 race, like, it's not that exciting. It's not as exciting as a real race, but I know when I'm watching real races and I just look how many laps we've gone in with, it's suddenly just like, wait, what? How many laps are we in? We started like 10 seconds ago, we're already in lap 20. How? You know, that's kind of how it is when we're looking. Oh, someone's out. There's a I can't speak. A retirement. Safety car, Pascal Wehrlein is out. Safety car did. Safety car is just what I needed. I just gotta speed up now and catch the queue, which is up here in front. That's awesome, because then as soon as we go green, you know, get green flag again so we can start racing, because we're not allowed to overtake now. We need to go in a big queue, and that's why safety cars are good for people who are leaping behind, because I'm allowed to go faster than them and then catch up with them, and I can also go lean. But as soon as it's green lights, we're all in one big row. So if I'm fast and it's right before a corner that there are green flags, set lights right before this. That's not right. If it's right before a corner, as I said, and I'm fast at reacting to it, you just disappeared. Yeah, for example here I can just go up the inside of the most of them, like 7 cars in one huge row. Isn't really, yeah, like, that isn't really anything bad. It's gonna be easier than trying to overtake them all if they're kind of scattered, but they aren't, because look how close they're gonna be racing. Or racing. They're gonna be driving like that, at that length to each other. That's pretty damn close. So if it's a braking a long braking zone where you need to brake hard, and I'm braking later than them, and I'm on the inside line, I could definitely get some overtakes done. I don't know if I could go all the way up in P1, but I could definitely go up, maybe on the podium. But of course we gotta remember that there's a pit. See, now we just gotta take care of the temperatures of the tires. That's why we're doing slalom. See that? And the brakes, I need to heat them up as well. Just to make sure not to brake check Julian Palmer behind me, so we don't get a Vettel-Hamilton situation. It happened last season, so 2017 season, in one of the races. Sebastian Vettel was second and Lewis Hamilton was first, and there was a safety car, and right after a corner it seemed like yeah, I can see your chat messages on YouTube. You don't need to write to me over PlayStation, thanks. That was just my friend. I know he's... Yeah, that's great. Esteban Ocon, one of the guys up in front of us, has a mechanical problem. But yeah, the Sebastian Vettel and Hamilton situation, that was right after the corner. It seemed like Hamilton slowed down, or braked, or just at least slowed down. He just did like that quickly, probably heating the brakes. I can understand it, even though I'm a Vettel fan. Like, it was not okay what Vettel did. So Vettel hit him in the rear, because he was very close behind him, but then when Hamilton kind of braked just to heat up the tires, I think, he got hit in the rear by Vettel. So Vettel, he was just like, what are you doing? Brake? Why are you brake taking me? Well, of course he couldn't talk to him, but that was what he... Well, that's good news. Ooh. See how close we are now? But yeah. Vettel, he complained over team radio. Shut up, Jeff, I'm trying to tell a story. But yeah, then Vettel got angry, and after he complained over team radio, he sped up a bit, and then went up alongside Hamilton, and just turned into him like that. He just turned directly into him. Like, it wasn't an accident or anything, it was 100% on purpose. And here we go, green light, green flags, and we're racing again. We're actually going faster than Max Verstappen here. We also have a bit of slipstream from him. Boom boom, that's one position. How much can we get here? Oh, can we get past Sebastian Vettel? We touch him again, and he's still up our inside. We did it. We're P4 now. So we have Hamilton, Raikkonen and Bottas up in front. The two flying Finns. Yes, I know. I'm managing the fuel very well because I was running clean through the whole safety car. Oh look, lap 9. Of course, what happened there between them, like, somebody, like, they were talking about kicking Sebastian Vettel for one race. Speaking of the devil, they were talking about as a punishment for him, other than the punishment that he got in the race, Hamilton got a punishment as well. Both got a 10-second stop-go penalty, which is basically where the next time you go into the pits, when you get the pit stop, or before you get the pit stop done, you have to sit and wait, and they just both had to sit and wait for 10 seconds. But then they were talking about, because what Vettel did was definitely not okay, so they were talking about as a punishment, saying to him that you are not allowed to participate in the next race, and that would not be good for his championship, because that would be a whole race where he didn't score a single point because he wasn't participating in the race. So of course he didn't want that. Like, they became friends again, and like they did actually just stop talking about it after about a week, because Vettel had apologized and he had said that what he did there was not okay, and it was just adrenaline in the moment, and that he would not do it again. Lap 22, that's when we're gonna pit. We have Sebastian Vettel are inside, that's not good. He's very much faster than us. So still on our inside, yes he is. See, when the arrows are red, he's very close, and if the arrow is red and pointing to the side, he's on our side. Hey, we've done about a fifth of the race already. Just what we've done now, 5 times more, plus 3 small laps. Like this, these full races usually take about 1.5 to 2 hours. I did one here the other day, that took an hour and 45 minutes, I think it was. That one was 71 laps, but the one lap was like a minute and 10 seconds, so 71 laps was not that much. If it was just 1 minute and 10 seconds times 71, that's not too bad. Not really much is happening right now, but that's unfortunately how races are in real life as well. They get pretty boring. Except that we are having a little fight here with Sebastian Vettel. That's not boring at all. Oh, we touch, and he locked up. I saw him. He locked up. He locked his, was it outside tire? It was one of his front tires he locked up. Well, yeah, of course, that's what you lock up all the time. I thought Ocon had an engine problem and was gonna be a bit slower. That's at least what Jeff told me. That's not what it looks like. Ah, shit. Like, I can see some comments on my stream. I have it on my iPad. Besides me to see the comments, which I shouldn't need to do, because you see out there on the side, comments should show up there, but they aren't. There are 4 comments. One of them is from me, 3 of them are from one of you, but they're not showing up on the screen. That's a bit weird. They're showing up on my iPad, like I can see them. I just can't see them on the screen. It's just too bad. Sebastian Vettel is just way too fast for us right now. We can afford to go rich for a bit. Okay, when we start our lap 13, so basically when we cross the finish line, that will be 10 laps to go till we need to pit. But it's not certain that this is going to be a long stream, because if I crash, well, the stream is going to end. See, there is this thing here called flashback, where it's like the last, I don't know how long time. It's the last half a minute or something. But you see the little, if I press the square, let me just get it. This is where we are now in the race. If I just go here, I can press square, and boom, we are there. So I can do that to avoid a crash. Like if a crash has just happened, and I'm quick to press it, well, it actually goes automatically into it. If I crash out and I have to retire, which has happened on stream before, where I was driving for Ferrari. I don't know if you could remember that. Any of you watching? Also, like, just if you're watching this as a video afterwards. I was driving my career mode, my own private career mode that I'm not making a YouTube series out of. I was driving that where I was a Ferrari driver. It was my season 2, I think. So it was my first season with Ferrari after a season with Haas. But it was a race. It was a good race. I was actually driving with a steering wheel there, which I'm for some kind of reason slower with, and a normal controller, which it should actually be the opposite. So yeah, that's a bit annoying, but yeah, I was it was actually quite close to the end of the race. It was a few laps off the end of the race. That was a 25% race, so it was only a quarter of the full race, and that was actually a track where it would be 71 laps as well. So the short version of it is 18 laps. That's not just maths or anything. That's because 25% race usually lasts half an hour. A 50% race usually lasts up to an hour, and a 100% race usually lasts up to 2 hours. So if, for example, like there are quite a lot of tracks where you need to do 71 laps, but the 25% races are different. For example, in Austria, which is the one I did, it's 18 laps. In Monaco, which is also a 71 lap race, it's 20 laps. So you know, it's different. It's different. But when I did that, it was like lap 14 or 13, maybe 15. I'd been in the pits a few laps earlier, so I'd been overtaken by a lot of people, of course. So I needed to just overtake my way up through the field, and we have a car out. That's Sebastian Vettel. Sebastian Vettel is out of the race. P2, because people are in the pits. I think they're doing a 2-stop. We're doing a 1-stop. How? I do not know. But yeah, in that race there, I was running side by side with Sergio Perez, I think it was. Good old Checo. And then he kind of forced me out. Oh, no, sorry Jeff. Yeah, he was kind of forced off the track by him because I didn't want to have any contact with him. So like I had to kind of go off the track to prevent from hitting him, but he kept on pushing, and at last he hit me and made me spin, and I was just like, oh crap, I'm just gonna stop the spin now. And then I gotta do it all over again to, like, I'm probably gonna go down to last now. Now I just have to make my way up through the field. But what happened next was very unexpected. I hit the wall and my wheel popped off. And his did too, because he hit me after I... No, but that's not how it happened. I hit the wall, got front wing damage, didn't get damaged at all by that. Like my front wing was damaged, that's the only thing. I could continue the race, but because he also spun, he hit someone else, which took off his wheel, and then that someone else that he hit flew into me and took off my wheel, and oh my god, I need to kind of focus better on what I'm doing. But yeah, my wheel got taken off, so I could not continue. Even though the crash wasn't what took off the wheel, it was the fact that Perez also spun out and then hit somebody else, lost his wheel, and then that somebody else hit me, which made me lose my wheel. Like, talk about bad luck there. It all happened on the stream. I think that's how it happened. I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, please, but don't tell me I'm lying or something, because I'm just telling it how I remember it. It was just something about I hit the wall, didn't get any wheels flying off, and then somebody else hit me because they crashed too. Yeah, that's the story about how I crashed on stream. And do keep in mind, it's pretty likely that I will retire in this race as well. Like you see, random engine failures can happen at any moment, as we've just seen Sebastian Vettel, Pascal Wehrlein, one of the best cars and one of the, if not the worst car on the grid, the Sauber. So that's almost the best, and so one of the best and one of the worst both have random engine failures. And my car is like in the middle. Like, I know my engine is looking good, but it can happen at every time. Anytime my engine could just go boom, and I'd have to roll off to the side and retire. What the I'm P1. I'm leading the race. It's probably because I need to pit later. Well, that's not too shabby. Oh, I hit him. I didn't brake that late. Come on, fight back, Max. I'm bored. I'm bored up here in P1. I want some battles. That's what I came here for. The Formula 1 is so entertaining when there are two drivers going around just about the same speeds, one maybe a little bit faster than the other, and then they just like fight. Like maybe one is faster on the straights, but the other one is faster in the corners, so that way they kind of like balance it out and have a fight for who wants to be in front of the other. And that's so entertaining to watch, but it's even more fun when you're participating in it yourself. And like those kind of battles can happen in Formula 1. Like I once did a 25% race, just on my own, and wasn't on stream. But I can tell you, in that race, I think it was from lap 3 to one of the last laps, 24/7. also when I came out of the pits, because me and the guy who I was fighting with also pitted at the same time as me. So we were having a complete fight for, I don't even remember how many laps, but it was just all the time, non-stop. We were battling each other, going back and forth. That was quite intense and very entertaining to do. Like I've actually been thinking about if I should do more live streams. Oh no 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 no! How have I? I was just about to say, how have I survived without front wing damage? No shit, Sherlock. Fuck off, Max. No, like I'm P3. It's not the position that hurts. It's just the fact that I know now that, well, actually, you haven't seen pits on my race before. Max Verstappen is out. That was the guy who crashed into me. Let's just do a quick, some quick acting here. Let's just say that this is team radio in a real race. I'm Nico Hulkenberg. I'm just like, what the fuck, guys? What is he doing? And then a little later, more team radio from Nico Hulkenberg here. Alright, Nico. Max Verstappen is out of the race. I repeat, Max Verstappen is out of the race. Karma. Absolute karma. Like, I saw the arrow, the red arrow that showed that he was on my inside, but I didn't know he was that close. I thought he was like a little right behind me. I can't see my right mirror that well. So it looked like he was a bit behind me. I kind of turned in because I wanted to defend against him, so I wanted to turn in and go in front of him. But then you saw what happened. And the reason I was just like, no, 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 all the time was because I did not want front wing damage. And when we came out of it after sliding against the wall, we were heading for the other wall, for a split second I just thought that we had escaped from that with no damage at all. And that just made me think. And what I was also just about to say when it happened. How have I gotten out of this with no damage? But just as I said, how have I smashed into the wall. Front wing is still there, it's just some few parts on it that actually are very important to the aero and downforce of it. Yeah, some parts of it flew off. The wing itself is still there. You can see. Now with less downforce than we need. Well, less downforce than we need to have, which we found out in qualifying, and front wing damage. We are not having a good race, but we're still P2 with only Daniel Ricciardo in front of us. I'm not complaining about our position. I'm just gonna say now that as soon as we come out of pits, we're gonna be very far behind. I really hope somebody behind me are gonna pit here in these coming laps. They're probably doing one stops as well. It's very rare to see a one stop in a full race. Of course, in real life they only do full races in the real Formula 1 races. I think they're all 100% races because they can't just like cut off the race and be like, I don't want to do that much of the race. Let's just do a short race today. Like if there are extreme weather conditions, a lot of people crashing out, somebody dying, which is not an unrealistic thing to think about. Like the last time somebody died in Formula 1 was in 2014. So in 2014, a guy named Jules Bianchi, he crashed in Japan and hit an excavator. But you know how like there's quite a lot of protection here on the Formula 1 car? That was the exact height for it to just go over the front of the car and smack right into his head.
Ready for you. Box this lap.
Somehow he survived the crash with very serious injuries, of course, but he survived smashing his head into that thing. It was like it was in the last part of the year, so after summer, that's fall. And then in January of 2015 he passed away in the hospital. So yeah, but there was this guy called Niki Lauda back in the day, in the 70s, and he said that back then, like, at least 2 drivers died every season. That's a very scary thing to think about. Like, imagine this: you're a race driver in this sport, and you just know that every single season, at least 2 people die in your sport because of the sport, like because of what they're doing. That's a creepy thought, a very creepy thought. Like, just think about it. You know that there's a high chance of dying. But this guy, Niki Lauda, he was very close to die as well. In 1976, he crashed on an old track called Nürburgring. It's a huge track. It's like back then in the 70s, those cars were also quite slow, but the average lap time was 7 minutes, 7.5 minutes. That was the average lap time back then. Nowadays it would be about 3 to 4 minutes. Imagine a 71 lap race. Like, of course you would be doing very few laps, but 3 to 4 minutes per lap. That's a long ass race. Yeah, he crashed in right after coming out of one of the almost 200 corners around that track. He crashed, smashed into the wall. Fire broke out in his car, and some fellow drivers, I think there were 3 people coming to pass him. One of them hit him, which did not make it better. And he was just sitting there inside the burning car. And some of his colleagues, which you could call it, other race drivers, who were also in that race, stopped to come over and help him get out, and the marshals came over. You know, those people standing in the side of the track with flags came over with fire extinguishers. It took a long time for them to put out the fire, and he was stuck. His seatbelt did not want to get off. Like, it was stuck, so they couldn't get him out. And I think he sat in there for at least a minute. Imagine sitting in a burning car full of fuel that could blow up in any moment, and being stuck in there for a minute or 2. Yeah, he survived, and he's still alive to this day. And even though he was a Ferrari driver, which was what he raced for most, after he stopped racing, he came back in 1982, 1983 and 1984 to race there as well, and he won a championship there as well. So he won 3 championships, 2 with Ferrari and 1 with McLaren. He's never driven for Mercedes, but still, like, he's a he's a genius in engine parts and like the mechanical part of Formula 1. It's like how to make the cars quicker. And the reason why the Mercedes cars are so quick in real life is because he's working for them. Like, that's just amazing how he survived that. Like, he's probably my favorite race driver of all time. Like, of course, I didn't watch the races back then. I wasn't born, of course. Like, they made a movie about him called Rush, about his rivalry with the fellow Formula 1 driver James Hunt. And then they, of course, also had the dramatic story of his crash and like how he, of course, looked like a normal man back then, but now looks, I don't know what he looks like. Like, his whole right side of the face is just non-existent, and his right ear is like melted into his head. The only thing he has is like a hole and then a little ear flap, and he has burn patterns all over the face, and no hair, of course, no eyebrows, no eyelashes, no hair on his head. But he survived, so yeah. Hello? I'm legit pressing the speeder right now. What's going on?
Okay, black flag, we're out to the race.
What? And now I'm disqualified for parking in a dangerous location. I was parked off the track. What? Like, my engine just died. Well, my engine obviously didn't die because I
So, another
I drove
Fantastic
along.
victory for the Silver Arrows.
Well, what the fuck?
And here are our podium drivers today after that. And now I'd like to ask you, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
I'm very confused right now.
He was in another league for me today. Really
Grosjean, what the fuck?
That's it for today's
You're in a
Grand Prix.
Haas and you go
For
from
tonight, it's
P16 to
goodbye and
P7.
see you again next time.
Wow, and because we got disqualified and didn't just crash, we were put last. Perfect. It's just what we needed. Well, there's not really much to say else than thank you for watching, I guess. And I will see you in the next one. Oh, yeah. Tomorrow I'm gonna upload the next episode of Career Mode. I am sorry I missed last... I didn't miss last weekend, did I? I just missed... I missed last Sunday. But I'm very sorry about that, but... Now all I have to say is just goodbye for now, and yeah. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.